I moved to Fort Washington probably about 15 years ago as a homeowner, so I know about all the different communities in Prince George's County, but this is the one I selected to live in because it's a quiet community.
Fort Washington is predominantly African-American. The communities itself were uplifting, supportive. Youth sports was huge growing up. Those were the biggest things that I appreciated.
As a kid in the 50s, my parents would bring us out to the fort for picnics. My father would take me fishing. The park itself, a lot of people don't know the history. You just take places for granted. You see it all the time. You go to it, and you don't realize some of the history behind it.
The park is so big. I mean, it's 300 acres or so. But I've had a visitor who's kind of looking around and is like, "Oh, sir, can I help you find something?" He was like, points at the fort. He's like, how long has that been here? I was like, "Oh, about 200 years." And he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, I grew up here. I never knew there was an actual fort."
So the original Fort Washington was built in 1808 to 1809 to protect the growing capital city of Washington, D.C. In the War of 1812, the year 1814, the British came to Washington, D.C. They took the capital city, burned the White House, burned the Capitol building. 3 days later, more British ships come up the Potomac River behind me. The people that were stationed here were drastically undermanned and undergunned. They retreated from the fort, blew it up so that the British couldn't use it. So the fort that we look at today is the second fort built between the years of 1814 and 1824. So within the fort, we have a number of different cannons. Some of them original, like the large black one behind me. Some of them reproduction, like this one here. On the first Sunday of each month from May to October, we do an artillery demonstration, and we have volunteers and staff dress up in our Union uniforms and actually fire one of these off. Fire! We have these beautiful views of the Potomac River. You can see pretty clearly today Washington, D.C., Arlington, and Alexandria on the skyline. And on a clear day, you can see Mount Vernon south of here. And that's very significant to our history as well because it was George Washington himself that suggested this spot for a fort.
They called it Fort Washington just out of respect for the general and the man who lived across the river. This individual place, this individual structure has now given a community its identity.
A lot of the things that make this a great spot for a fort are the same things that make it a great spot for recreation. So I like to refer to our park as a local national park. The hill that we walked past is a fantastic sledding hill, and a lot of members of the community recall sledding there as a kid or bringing their kids here.
We get so many regular visitors that come every day. There is this connection that we are part of the community and that we take care of their place to get away from it all.